Live from the Export Beer Garden Studio and brought to you as always by Export Ultra, the beer for here. This is the Agenda Podcast for Monday, the 18th of November.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
I guess we better start with a quick gear check as it's the 18th of November. Are we still in gear or are we in neutral yet?
Oh, I'm in neutral. I'm well and truly in neutral because once the first Christmas party invite comes in and the first kind of Christmas, and it's the fucking goddamn Santa parade next weekend in Auckland and in Devonport as well. There's one where I live. So that, to me, signals, chuck it in neutral. Yep. I'll kick it to 25.
Yep. I had the misfortune of ending up at two malls across the weekend.
Oh.
And both of them had carols playing. One of them had Santa walking up and down with his whole troupe doing their thing.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing hip-hop remixes of Christmas songs, or Christmas remixes of hip-hop songs.
Just walking around dancing.
It was awful. Yeah, it was bad. The kids love it, though. They see Santa there, and they're like, oh, this is awesome. And I was like, I need to get all of my Christmas shopping done now. Never go into another mall again.
Well, you got Black Friday coming up, and Cyber Monday. So I'd suggest you do it all then. Just online over those 3 days. We'll have some specials on our shop as well for those of you who want to get stuck into some pretty mean deals.
Yep. I'm thinking it's going to be ACC gear for everyone in my family this year.
Steady the ship hats.
Steady the ship hats, books for those that can read.
Yeah, DWZ,
WD-40.
Yeah, the wig hats, party shirts, export party shirts.
Yeah, party shirts.
Yeah, throw a couple of those in.
Stack of Changi chips.
Yeah, big nuts.
Big nuts, all that kind of stuff. Let's start right at the top. The thing everyone's talking about. Mike Tyson v. Jake Paul on Saturday afternoon. Where did you watch it? Did you watch it?
Yeah, of course I watched it. I mean, it was a pantomime, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was always going to be. Why did we think it was going to be anything other than that?
Yeah. Because it's Mike Tyson, that's why.
Yeah, and there's an element of what the fuck could happen. But, I tell you what, though, he had every 12-year-old juiced up around our neighbourhood. They all knew about it. They all wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
They all wanted... The interest levels were widespread. Even my 8-year-old sat down and watched two of the undercard fights and the actual fight. It was...
I watched the whole card. I mean, the thing is, it was on Netflix. So if you've got Netflix, which everyone does, it's nothing. Just chuck it on.
Tell you what, though, don't fucking drink every time they say Netflix on Netflix coverage.
No.
Holy shit.
Man.
It was just one big ad.
Oh, 100%.
Clever. Suck you in and then just hit you with Netflix content.
Yeah. No, it was great. I mean, if it was a Friday night, I probably wouldn't have watched it. But the fact that it was Saturday afternoon, I had nothing else on.
Yeah.
So you might as well sit around and watch it. And watch it I did. I watched from the get-go, from 2 o'clock when it tipped off. The coverage was weird. At the start of the coverage, they crossed this girl down on the red carpet sort of. And she said, I'll have all the interviews for you throughout the night. Never saw her again. I don't know if there was a technical issue, if they didn't get any interviews, I don't know, but you just did not see her again until right at the end she went and interviewed Shaq.
Oh yes, I saw that, and Gronk.
And Gronk, yeah.
Yeah, and they had a couple. They had Ralph Macchio because they were bringing up a new series of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So they showed them in the crowd
3 times.
Yeah, and then played the trailer for Cobra Kai, the next series of that, exclusive to Netflix.
Yeah, it was a big... I quite liked the Netflix, having a live sporting event on Netflix. I'd love it if the NBA was on there. It's just so easy to chuck on.
Yeah.
So that's why everyone watched it. And again, like you said, now in hindsight, we're all looking at it going, well, yeah, fuck, he's 58. Before we were going into the fight, I was like, I just watched 54-year-old Brian Lara bat.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy can do it. And so... It's easy to sit here and say in hindsight, though, we all knew he was going to be shit. He didn't. We all bought into it.
Yeah, we were all just hoping that Mike Tyson had one punch to knock the fuck out of Jake Paul. And he's the ultimate heel. The crowd booed him when he came out. And so I wasn't the only one that detested him.
That was the whole thing. He made everyone want to see him get knocked out.
Yeah.
And he
marketing
got a massive
genius.
payday. Yeah.
That's marketing genius.
Apparently,
he's a punisher, but...
Yeah. Apparently Mike Tyson got 20 mil for the fight.
I tell you what, he can use that 20 mil and maybe do some squats. Mind you, that's a 58-year-old ass we saw.
That is a 58-year-old ass. That video, you would have seen it as the most viral thing to come out of it, was just the fun. It was like an episode of The Office. It was like a Lee Hart skit, you know? Like it was just this interview. He's earnest interview with his son. He kisses him on the cheek, turns around, and he's got his ass hanging out.
He's got a Jeep bang. He's got a jock strap on.
Yeah, he's got a jock strap on. I was just discussing the shape of his ass with Tony Lyle out in the office there. Tony said he gave a good account of himself. I said I'd like a bit more definition. I know that's a 58-year-old man, but that's a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. It's not a 58-year-old Manaia Stewart.
You wanted a bit more fluff in those pillows,
did you? Yeah, I did want a bit more fluff in the pillows, and I think that's what let him down. It was clear his legs weren't there, in that fight, and I think that's probably the part that let him down.
It was still the highlight for me.
Yeah.
That and the undercard. The Irish woman in the
Katie Taylor,
is it Puerto Rican?
Amanda Serrano. Yeah.
They absolutely clubbed the shit out of each other, and the most controversial decision of the night.
It was everything that's wrong with boxing.
Yeah.
The girl was headbutting her throughout the fight, and you could call it incidental, whatever. At a certain point, she did get a point docked. The other girl hit 107 more punches than her.
Yeah.
And it was a unanimous decision for Katie Taylor. It was like, this is why boxing, one of the reasons why boxing's so hard to watch. You can watch a fight and be like, that girl won. And then they just rob her.
And then that one particular moment post-fight when the commentators mentioned something about how far the women's sports come.
Yeah.
And right next to her was two ring girls with the fakest, biggest cans you've ever seen just standing there, not contributing at all.
Well, I feel like they were contributing quite a bit. Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, my God.
And they were like, what I want is, in the background, two women, four of the largest fake breasts that you've ever seen in your life, shrink-wrapped. I want them oiled.
Glitter.
I want them glittered.
I got some awkward questions from my 8-year-old because he was like, was standing there and they're just in the background doing nothing, and he was kind of like, and I remember my wife going, "Oh, that's not okay," and him just going, "Why are they so swollen?" And I was like, they must be breastfeeding.
You went biological.
Yeah, I went biological. I went. They've got kids at home and breastfeeding, and milk engorges the breast and stuff, and obviously that just totally threw him and just okay, whatever.
Short-circuited him.
Short-circuited. He didn't want any. He didn't go down any. He's only 8, so for him that made total sense.
How about the 13, 14-year-old? Did he need any explaining?
No, the 12-year-old. 12-year-old who thinks he's 19.
He looks like he's 16.
So a great argument with him about why he couldn't go to the pub with 5 of his mates at 2 o'clock and watch the fight. Have you tried having an argument with a 12-year-old about you can't go to the pub?
No.
It's like, you can't go to the pub. And one in the background, his mate in the background goes, "It's a kid's pub." And I went, "There's a kids area." I'm like, there's no such thing as a kid's pub, okay? One of the dads was there, and that's the reason they wanted to go in there. I was like, that is unfair on that dad to be inundated with 12-year-olds. And they thought it started at 2. And I said, it doesn't start till after 5. The event starts at 2. So they wanted to hit the pub. They wanted to hit the boozer at 2.
Jeez, they would have been blind drunk.
Oh, God. Or wasted on Coca-Cola. Anyway, having an argument with the 12-year-olds on that the kids' pub doesn't exist was one of the more awkward conversations I've ever had. And eventually convinced them. They all went around to a mate's place, got pizza, and ate it, and watched it there. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't have to answer those questions around the swollen.
The breastfeeding situation.
Yeah, the breastfeeding situation. But that was very, very Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah.
I loved that the commentators, while they were doing that, were talking about how far the women's game has come, and it's really legitimized it, and all the stuff that Jake Paul's done to put these two women on the map, and what women's boxing is all about. And then the whole time they're talking, just 4 of the biggest ones you've ever seen in your life, just hanging out.
Not contributing, not even holding up ring card, no job.
The one thing they were
just standing there.
Yeah, the one thing they were doing that was quite impressive was smiling without stopping for the entire time. I was like, that would have been tough.
Yeah.
Then my missus got home. She was like, well, no, they're Botoxed into that position. They can't stop smiling if they tried. The only time they came close to breaking was old Amanda Serrano. Her eye was cut to the point where she could just about see through the cut.
Oh.
It was so gross. And one of the ring girls caught a glimpse of it when she turned her head, and you could see her just like wince for a second, but then no, got to keep the smile going. So that was that fight was good. There was the first fight of the thing was
the Mexican
trash.
Warriors. Did you use those guys?
They were good, but there was one before them, and it was like a Brazilian TikToker versus an Indian gentleman. It was just average.
But you've summed it up quite here in this first point you've got in front of me.
Yeah, we got honey-dicked.
Yeah.
We got honey-dicked big time. And I don't think it'll happen again. Although, I did say that about Brian Lara. I don't think that anyone's going to sign up to watch him. I mean, I don't know who else it would be anyway, but I don't think anyone's going to sign up to watch a 50-year-old do anything.
And I enjoy the memes coming out about him challenging Muhammad Ali next. And
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden, yes.
Yeah. You could tell from the get-go, like his walkout, he didn't look the same.
What about Floyd Mayweather?
That wouldn't be bad. Floyd's still got it.
Yeah, he can still throw hands.
Floyd's a bit younger. I think he's... Oh, no, he turned 50, I think.
Or Conor McGregor?
Yeah.
And Jake Paul, although that's heavyweight.
That is, it's a massive size difference.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I just said I'm not going to get honey-dicked again. If he called out David Tua, I'd watch that.
David Tua's probably the same age as Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he'd be a little bit younger, but he's still fighting.
What about the mountain oyster, Shane Cameron?
I'd watch that too. What age do you think, we talked about this with LeBron James a couple of months ago, what age do you think Mike Tyson would have to be before you, Mike Lane, could beat him in a fight? So right now he's 58.
80.
80?
Yeah.
You'd go him at 80?
I'd go him at 80, but I have to stay the same age as I am now.
Yeah, you right now.
Okay. Yeah, well, that takes a point. What old man would you like to beat up?
Would you consider Hosking an old man?
Yep. Yeah, he's older.
Is Dave Seymour old enough?
He's older. I think Seymour's almost the same age as you. Any particular old man you'd want to give a hiding to?
Hosking.
Elderly abuse.
Tell you what, right now, Jason Hoyt. And we'll get into that later in the podcast as well.
I see. Yeah, we mentioned Murray Deaker potentially. Get him in the ring, but Murray's a great guy. I don't want to fight him. But,
what about like as he was growing up? Could you have beaten a 14-year-old Mike Tyson?
No way.
A 10?
10? And how old am I? Am I same age as I am now?
You are right now.
Well, I don't know actually. They can throw hands quite quickly.
Yeah,
and they're quite fit.
They're very fit. They'll go all day.
Yeah, I'd definitely have to just get in close quarters.
8?
I'd smack him. I'd absolutely smack him round as an 8-year-old.
Okay, so between the ages of 14 and 80.
Yes, don't touch him. Don't touch him. Don't touch Mike Tyson.
I completely agree with you. I don't know. I don't even know if 80. I was saying like LeBron would have. I don't think there's any age LeBron wouldn't beat me in a basketball game. He's going to beat me every age.
Yeah.
I think I'm the same with
Tyson.
His biggest problem, like if that was a wheelchair boxing match, he would have wasted Jake, I think. It was just his legs.
He was running around the ring, wasn't he?
His legs were just, there was no power in his legs at all.
And he's come out and said that he didn't want to knock out Mike Tyson. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. I did think that was going to happen, though. I made a bit of money on him not knocking Tyson out.
Okay.
I was like, I think like he wants to be hated, but not that much.
Yeah.
You know, because someone likened it, like to put it in a basketball perspective, it would be like watching Michael Jordan now getting crossed up by Mr. Beast. If he was to knock him out, you know, it would just ruin your memory of it. Does this change how you remember Mike Tyson?
Not really.
No, neither.
Nah, because he's 58 and he's still a badass.
Yeah.
Like, and you watch some of that footage of him, and youngest ever heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah. He was a fucking psycho.
It was the way he did it too, eh?
Yeah, and he's obviously chilled out. He's discovered psilocybin and weed.
Yep.
And he's basically on a diet of that. He's got his own marijuana farm and factory and brand.
He was selling THC gummies in the shape of an ear.
Oh, that's good.
So you could chew on them.
That's good. So he's found a new zen and found a new way of chilling out. So, it doesn't change the way for me. I still think he'll make hundreds of cameos in movies now till he dies.
Yeah, 100%. No, it doesn't change it for me either. What it does change is I won't be watching another one of those sort of things live. But the thing is, the next one, he'll find someone, it'll be Conor McGregor or something like that, and I'll get fucking suckered back in again.
Yeah.
I just want to see how it goes. All right, let's take a quick break and come back and talk some of the other sport that happened across the weekend. All right, it was an absolute sporting binge across the weekend, at least for me. And the Snakechangi Sports Scholarship, where binge watching sport is a sport, is still running. To enter, text CHIP to 3236. Follow the link. You could be in to win the ultimate ACC prize pack. Snacky Changy, the ultimate sports watching chip, I reckon. It's because they can handle a dip. They're tasty enough on their own. They handle a dip like no other chip.
Oh, yeah, look, Lee Hart's done a lot of stupid things in his life. But this is not one of them. This is not one of them. They're the best chips on the market. So,
legend has it he went in to talk to them about what kind of chips he wanted to make, and they said, "What kind of chip do you want?" He said, "What can you do?" And they said, "Well, we can kettle fry it."
They said, "What's your best sellers?"
Yeah, crinkle cuts. We got the extra thick. We can do this. And he goes, "Could you do all of that to one chip?" And they said, "We've never thought to try it." And out of that was born
Snacky Changy.
Snacky Changy. So that's why it's the best of all. Yeah, genius. The All Blacks, they lost 30 points to 29. Do we sack Fozzy?
Yep.
Yeah,
we'll
sack Fozzy.
Have we sacked him already?
I think we should. Yeah, we sacked Fozzy. Yeah. Or do we sack Razor?
Yeah, why not? It's just there's a pile on. Nah, they should have won that. They know that as well. 17-10 at half time. But then that first 10 minutes of the second half, that's when they lost it. Those 2 quick tries to France. We're missing just a little bit of something. It's hard to put your finger on it, but we own them in the scrum.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
We were fucking with them in the lineouts. Mm-hmm. We were nicking a lot of ball. Mm-hmm. But they were just pesting around and getting through on camroids, on Roigard, and disturbing that quick ball. And they did this, and the Irish did the same. And I'm starting to think, is it the laxing of the rules as the referee, or is it us not being able to protect the ball? Because they just keep walking through the middle.
Yeah.
And he was just backpedaling the whole time.
Yeah. Cortez had a hell of a night.
Yeah, and he had
done the same thing earlier.
And then some strange penalties from Dracula, from the Georgian referee. Again, we always get the Georgian referee, and I don't know why. Yeah. Strange decisions around. He pinged sneakers for time wasting at the back of a ruck, 10 metres out from our own line from a kickoff. Yeah. And that's like, what? Why would he be time wasting? He was just getting ready to box kick it. Yeah. Out is strange. And then the neck roll rule that didn't happen. Yeah. From Asafa Amoa is like, what? What neck roll?
I thought I just missed it, but no.
They did a replay, super slow-mo replay. He's cleared the ruck. And then you had Dupont rolling around the ground holding his ribs, waiting for a replay. So he's on the ground pretending, foxing that he got injured so he could milk the replay for foul play, and nothing happened. Yeah. He just got cleared out of the ruck.
But that's not time wasting?
No, so I called him Dupuis after that. So Antoine Dupuis, who got outplayed in the first half by Roigard.
Well, I wrote that down. Is Roigard better than Dupont?
I wouldn't go that far, because Dupont actually, I think he went to fullback in the second half. Because the other halfback came on and he went either to fullback or wing. I can't remember.
They just leave him out there.
They just leave him there.
What position? Don't worry about that.
It doesn't matter, mate. No, he's still class, but he didn't have a great first half, but he certainly didn't kind of stamped his mark in the second half. And I don't know. Yeah, it was. They'll know. The All Blacks will know that they let that one slip.
Yeah, I feel like the All Blacks, right up until the last World Cup, were always just a chance to score from anywhere, and that's how they won. You know, even in that last 20 minutes, it's like, yeah, this is close. But all they need is just that one pass, and all of a sudden, Will Jordan's into the backfield, and we've won the game. And that isn't happening anymore. Yeah. You know? Maybe I'm saying that because I had $20 on Will Jordan anytime try scorer.
Oh, I jumped in on the special. Yeah. Any starting halfback to score.
Oh,
boosted to $3. I was like, boom.
Yeah. Oh, that try was great. Just took Dupont's lollies.
Yeah. And just boom. It was one of the great. It was the kind of koala hug into an intercept. Yeah. I'd never seen that before.
Neither. It was wild. But that came off the back of a dominant scrum. I haven't seen a scrum fuck someone up like that in a long time.
Mighty Williams was on fire, and again, the Dracula kept resetting the scrum as opposed to... Yeah. It was our advantage. He popped them up so many times, and then he'd come back for a reset. I said, fuck the reset. We just own them.
Yeah, we just destroyed them. And that should, if anything, be adjudicated on vibe. The vibe is we fucked them up.
Our penalty.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea about scrum penalties.
Neither.
I would challenge anyone to know what the exact rules are. So, but you're right. The vibe is we're fucking them up. Yeah. And they were doing their best to just disrupt it. And they would have been so happy with a reset. Yeah. And then Mighty Williams was just as confused, and I think he approached Dracula, the referee, to ask him what's going on, and leant down, but leant straight into the referee's...
The police body cam footage.
The body cam footage. So there's a great shot of Mighty Williams, who looks like the world's biggest baby. Like, he's got this giant head, and he's like looking sideways. It's the fisheye lens of the Mighty Williams talking to the referee. Yeah, fuck, I don't know. I felt for them.
I have asked Angus Tarvale about that. Like, I was like, it's like a scrum dice. He's like, bro, to be honest, it is. before the games they have a yarn with the refs, and the refs will tell them what they're looking for. And so it'll be things like, if I see your elbow go down this way, if I see your back rounding instead of being straight, if your legs are at a certain angle, blah, blah, blah. And so those are the cues that the referees are looking for to show that they've either popped or they've lost this or whatever.
They drop a knee or they go down.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And so they're looking for physical cues because it all happens so quickly. That's what they're basing it off. So he was like, the whole idea is to show the ref a good picture is the term they use. So he's in the right position, and that's how you avoid getting thing. But he said even then, like you don't know where they're looking, if they're looking at you at the right time, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if we as fans and him as a player don't even really understand, like it's not good for the game.
No, it's not. And there's a lot of chat around the scrum resetting and all that kind of carry on. You know, I don't know.
It's a Georgian referee, to be fair.
Yeah,
he's always going to want to see more scrums.
Yeah, he loved a scrum.
Yeah,
he loved a scrum. Yeah, a few unusual. But I mean, look, there was a couple of unusual decisions that went our way as well in that game. But the decision to kick 3 points with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, how did you feel about that?
I was in two minds. It was decisive from dog roll to do that, but then it backfired when they had to run 100 metres to score at the end of the match.
Yeah.
So that's why I struggled. And we struggled to return the kickoffs. We
would always end up just way back down our own end, and you're like, well, hang on. We were just,
And then we'd clear it, and they'd have a line out on the 22.
Yeah.
So I think even that, the fact that we struggled to get out of our 22 from kickoffs would have signalled, fuck, let's just score a try here and get a bit of distance between us so the French have to score a try to beat us, not a penalty.
You're right. In some ways, the last sort of 5 minutes summed that game up. We were just pinned on our own line trying to score a 100-metre try.
Yeah.
And, we're capable of it, but we just weren't able to there. I agree with you. I think it was the right move. I think it's a test match. You've got to get... Because all it would have taken is another penalty, and now all of a sudden we get a game-winning shot.
Yeah.
So I obviously think that the post should be taken off the field, but if this is how we're going to be playing rugby, then... Give yourself a shot. Be 1 point away. They still had like 10, 12 minutes left, I think, at that point.
How's the wheels on the French winger?
Oh, my God. The scrum cap, dude.
Smoked Severed Piece.
Did he? What?
Severed Piece looked like he was injured or something. He just gassed him for that try.
I don't think Severed Piece expected it at all. He knew where the guy was. I just don't think he knew how fast that dude is.
Yeah.
And when he basically walked past them, and Severy's like, oh, shit,
This
really?
This guy is rapid.
He was, man. Every kick chase, he was just flying down the sideline there. But, I just think the All Blacks just lacked the twist on the end of the punch there. A little bit disappointing, but to be honest, we're going to, next weekend, smack Italy.
Smack Italy on Sunday. And I thought they would have taken, 3 out of 4 games on this Northern Tour.
Yeah.
Pretty tough, though, backing up England, Ireland, and then straight into France.
Yeah.
Not as much as Wales have had a shitter.
Weird. Well, they got humped 52-20 against Australia.
11th straight defeat, and doesn't get much better for them. They play South Africa next week.
Good. I was sick of Wales being a good rugby team. Is Australian rugby back?
Seems like it.
Doesn't
I mean, it seems like it. They've got their tails up. They've a couple of good wins over in the Northern Hemisphere. I hope it is because it's good for us.
Their teams, it is good for us. As much as we hate it, we need the Australian Super Rugby teams, and we need them to be good, and we need people in Australia to give a shit about them for the competition to be, in a better position, at least financially. They got good enough players. We were sort of talking about it last year when at the start of last season, the start of Super Rugby, the Aussie teams were good again, and we were like, this is what we wanted, and now we've got it, and it sucks. But we need to take it. They've got good players. I think, obviously, Suolii's been great in his couple of games.
Yeah, good to them have a rock star in Suoli. Like, they needed someone to hang their hopes on, and I think that's him.
I think Tom Wright is fucking tremendous, their fullback.
Yeah.
He is outstanding. He just looks like a Sparky or something, some sort of tradie. But every time he touches, he's got a touch of the Will Jordans about him.
Yeah.
Just bursts into the backfield. You're like, what did he really do there? It was a swerve. So I think they're back, and I think it's good for World Rugby, not just Super Rugby. Black Caps lost to Sri Lanka. I don't really care about that. The only reason I do care is because that means your league about 3 away from Friday is bust.
Small technicality here, and I probably didn't communicate it.
Yes.
I was actually one of the third one-dayer New Zealand to win.
Oh, you said the one on Sunday.
Oh, did I? I thought that was the third one. Damn it.
When's the third one?
I think it's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So, because I for some reason I thought the second game was on Friday and the third one was on Sunday when I saw the schedule. I know that's my own fuck up. But if we win the third one, I'm gonna argue it. But I don't think anyone cares about that because in 10 days' time, Manaia, England series starts
28th of November.
Yeah, and the first test out in Christchurch, ACC coverage live and free on iHeartradio. So that's all everyone cares about. This one here seems like it's just a bit of a gap filler.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit. Cricket doesn't travel well, and when they're over there, we don't really care.
Nah, unless it's India.
And unless we've just won 2 test matches, then we'll start giving a shit about the third one. But yeah, I don't agree. I don't love that one either. All right, we've got a couple of... I don't know how to attack this one. Did you see the footage of the marathon woman that was up on the story yesterday?
Is it a marathon or is it a triathlon?
I don't know. I think we've got the audio here of the marathon woman.
I just hit myself. So can you not get my ass?
So what's happened there?
Yes.
Is motorbikes follow all the runners.
Yeah.
And film them as they're going. She spotted the cameraman on the back of the motorbike, and has informed them that she has shat herself.
Yes.
And to not film her from behind.
Yes.
It's like, can we listen to it again?
I just hit myself. So can you not get my ass? Thank you. Sorry.
My question for you: you've done a few half marathons. Have you ever shit yourself?
Not during a half marathon.
No.
Not during running. I've shat myself in general, but that was a medical issue.
Oh, yes.
But I have not done it while physically exercising. But I do love how she just straight down the barrel. I've shit myself. Don't film behind me, please.
So matter of fact. There is no sport you could get me to do where I would keep going after I shit myself.
I know. I was thinking that must be quite uncomfortable.
Oh.
You get terrible chafing.
I know you trained hard for it and whatever, but... God, if I shit myself doing anything, that's it. I'm done doing whatever it is that I'm doing.
I'm out.
I'm going home. Yeah, I've shit myself. I'm going home. I don't think anyone would begrudge you for being like, yeah.
Famously, Matt Bell, a former New Zealand cricketer, famously shat himself in his whites, and it went all the way down and only stopped at the garters at the bottom of his whites.
I mean, I guess if I'm batting and I'm on 90 and I shit myself, I'll probably get to 100 and retire.
You'd certainly get rid of the close-in fielders.
Oh, shit, yeah.
That's
right.
They'd be like, oh, God, he shit himself.
They bring on a spinner and they close in on me because I'm about to crack the ton. And then I deploy the feces and just clear the area out. I just don't think that there'd be anything that I care about enough to keep going after I shit myself.
And also, yelling at a camera that you've shit yourself, the camera's rolling. They've got audio.
Yeah.
Like...
God bless it. She just didn't want the footage out there.
Yeah, fair enough. And it's probably doubled down. It's probably worse than what the original footage would have been.
Yeah, 100%. And just quickly on the social media front as well, have you seen the American football toss that they're doing at the moment? So this is, instead of a coin toss, they are flying a helicopter over the top of the field and then they drop a ball and then it's whoever can get the ball first, they get to kick off. I think this is brilliant. This is what I want to see from the NRL. You know how they want to ban or get rid of the kickoff?
Yeah.
We'll swap it with this then. Drop the ball. Both teams start on their own goal line. You drop the ball, first player to get it, like dodgeball.
Dodgeball, yeah, it is dodgeball.
Yeah. I love this. It's different. The only issue I would have with it, a couple of issues. First of all, in New Zealand, you'd never get the clearance to fly a helicopter that close to a pitch. It would be a shit show from an OSH perspective. Second of all, if my captain got injured doing that instead of a toss, I'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
He just like blew his ACL trying to get to the ball.
Yeah, maybe it's something else though, an arm wrestle or something.
Yeah.
Or a quiz. Like I got a couple of buzzers. An intellectual quiz, best of 3.
It's a whole game of 2 halves.
Yeah, just set up on a halfway with their buzzer.
And it's just Laura McGoldrick deciding which side they go to. All right, it's time to take one more quick break. When we come back, we will get to yours, please, because there's been so many of them across the weekend, but there's also been developments in the headphone saga. Oh, God. So we'll be right back to digest that. If you didn't listen to any of the podcasts last week, there's been allegations flying back and forth. Well, not back and forth. They all go in one direction. And the allegation has been that the Big Show is stealing our headphones. Now, one of the wildest paradoxes of working in radio is that you will never find a radio station that has enough headphones. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No station ever has enough headphones. And our station is no different, despite the fact that we're not a radio station, but our headphones go walkies all the time.
It's like communal kitchens never have spoons.
That's right. Yep.
Or forks.
Or forks.
Heaps
Or they
of
have
knives.
forks but no spoons,
Yeah.
spoons but no forks, blah, blah, blah. Knives are everywhere. So we had accused the Big Show of stealing our headphones.
Yep.
They came back at us and said that we're a half-assed podcast, but
Which is
true. No, they're
Yeah.
not wrong, but they didn't really deny the allegations.
No.
They then went on to say that they had blah, 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 that, you know, that they'd stolen them in the past, but now they don't, and they hide their own headphones. And if anyone, it's not them. This is the latest update. This is what they had to say on their show on Friday.
Now, there's something very obvious that is happening here. There's somebody else that does a radio show in between when we do it and when they go in to do the podcast, and that is The Breakfast Show. The Breakfast Show.
Correct.
The Breakfast Show are the ones that are stealing your headphones every single day because they also steal ours.
I'm so pissed off by the allegations, I'm going to go in there and start stealing their headphones.
I tell you what would pay them back, man. You should start going into that little office they got to the side and start stealing all those bags of chips.
I want to do that now, actually.
Start doing that.
Just start doing it.
Yeah.
Start doing that now.
I'll start doing that right now.
Yeah.
What do you want, sour cream and chili?
He is Jason Hoyt is the biggest chip thief on the planet.
Yes. It's to the point where Ella, who works out in the office, she is in charge of the chip stocks, and she had to handwrite a sign and put it on the side of the stack of chips. Please stop taking these chips. They're for the Snackachini Sports Scholarship winners. And then, in brackets, looking at you, Jason Hoyt.
And what do you know? Have you seen the state of those boxes? It's like a rat has been in them.
And that rat goes by the name of Jason Hoyt.
Can I just say, just be slightly more subtle about it? You could have opened the box with a knife and put the box back so it looks like no one's in there, but it's just all torn open.
Yeah.
The
burglars have been through
Yeah, so there we go. So, okay, he's getting revenge by eating listeners' chips. Well done.
Also, revenge on what? You take our headphones and then you get revenge on us for what?
Yeah, eating chips.
What I will say is, I agree with them. It was misdirected accusations because they use our studio. Look, they come and use our studio, then our headphones are gone.
Yeah.
You know, don't
and
overthink
two
it.
together.
David Bain killed his whole family.
Yeah.
I think. Cut that out. I think he didn't. He got acquitted. It is. It's the breakfast show, and I know that it is because I came in this morning. Would you fucking believe it? The headphones are gone. So I go into the studio. Sure enough, they're in the bloody Hauraki studio, and I go, Ruta, have you bloody taken our headphones? Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, I was going to bring them back. I just got caught up doing this. It's like,
Motherfucker.
I don't mind if you take them. Just bring them back because we, are now involved in this stoush with the Big Show.
Yeah.
They're now going to start stealing our headphones and our chips. Now they've got beef internally between breakfast and the Big Show. So it's all gone tits up. I'd like to issue a formal apology to the Big Show. It's not you. It's breakfast. It's fucking breakfast. So, look, I think the beef's squashed from my end at least.
Yeah, look, but if Hoyt touches those chips again, I'm going to sweep the leg.
All right, it is a Monday. We've got so many to get through. We can only get through a handful. Let's get to yours, please.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Leader, home of the lasagna topper.
10:38 on the Agenda podcast. We go to the lines now. Yours, please.
Hi there, lads. Just sitting here watching the rugby. I can't help but notice Razor Robinson's got some very dark, baggy-looking eyes at the moment. Has he been bitten by the vampire?
Yeah, well, potentially. Like the Georgian referee does look dangerously like a vampire.
Yes,
but don't know. But he's desperately holding on to that hair, isn't he? He's going to have to let go of it at some stage.
I mean, look, and this is each man's individual decision to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to besmirch anyone who's currently facing that decision, but there is a point where it's almost Trump-esque at this point. You know what I mean? Because it's starting to sweep around a little bit. In every interview you see him, the first 5 minutes of him fucking with his fringe for a bit. Just take it to the woodshed, Razor. You're the All Blacks coach, man. Who cares?
No one's going to think any less of you.
What he needed to do, is a missed opportunity here, was before his first game, take it to the woodshed.
Just buzz.
And then be like, right, this is a signal to the country. I'm here. I'm taking this seriously. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. He may have been bitten by the vampire. Another caller here. Yours, please.
G'day lads, Troy here from the Tron. Just touching on that comment around getting a camel for Tim Southey's last test in Hamilton. At worst, you could probably get an alpaca or a llama, as long as it's fucking sexy. Let's be honest. True.
Well, yeah, I mean, but you've got little Lamb Neesham. Some say he looks like an alpaca, so it's kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't want to go into Jimmy Neesham territory with an alpaca.
That is a good point. They are camelids. They are from the same species of animal. Pseudo-ruminants, 3 stomach chambers as opposed to the usual 4 that you'll find in cows and other ruminants. But I think it has to be a camel. He's the sexy camel.
Yeah.
It's not the sexy llama, not the sexy alpaca.
Have you seen a camel in New Zealand?
I said this last week. I don't think I have.
No.
I don't think I have. We came very, very close to shearing a camel at one point in my life.
Yeah.
We really wanted to. And the guy who managed the farm said, yep, tomorrow morning, if you guys are up to it, shear that camel.
Where was this?
In the UK.
Oh, okay.
And then the owner came down the next day. I was like, no, do not shear my camel. We're like, okay, fair enough. I walked into the paddock and there was this giant hay, like pile of hay. You know those old school piles of hay?
Yeah.
And then it stood up. It was the camel. It was fucking enormous. And I'm thankful that we didn't have to shear it. Because a llama tossed me clean across a cage one day. Anyway.
Well, you don't need to shear a camel.
You don't need to shear a llama either, but we did. The other one was a tapir. We're at a zoo in Wales, and they were like, our tapir is really struggling in the summer.
Were you just rolling around England with a pair of shears?
Yes. Yeah, one day I forgot to shut the boot, and all the shears fell across one of the major highways. Fucking brought it to his knees. Anyway, our thing was we're not going to say no to anything that you want us to shout. I got to be honest. If a tapir was on the resume, that would have been hilarious. But no. So I've seen camels in a lot of different places. Never have I seen one in New Zealand. I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't even think they've got any at the zoo. Certainly not at the Auckland Zoo.
I did a Google search and there is supposedly none in New Zealand.
There are no camels in New Zealand.
Oh, so that means we're going to have to go to Look Sharp and buy one of those those inflatable costumes where you're
2-man.
Or the one with the inflatable where it's at the front and you're the back legs, and you're the camel.
Oh, yeah.
So you might have to go full comedy.
I like the idea of a 2-man camel situation, and they release us out onto the pitch in Hamilton.
It's very Top Gun.
Yeah, Monty Python.
Yeah.
But anyway, someone reach out if anyone's seen a camel in New Zealand. There must be one, mustn't there? A camel?
Yeah, I don't know. No, so when I said Top Gun, I mean Top Secret.
Oh, yeah.
Top Secret. When they do the cow and a bull comes and humps them, and then a calf comes and anyway.
I believe Australia has the second largest population of camels outside of the Middle East.
Yeah.
So
Can we
surely
just get one over?
Yeah, we could get one over.
There must be a taxidermied one somewhere.
A stuffed camel. Well, but do we have the rights for that, Lane? Because of course we have to give the hawk back.
It's not native though, is it? So we can put casters on it and just wheel it around the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, right. There must be
someone help us out here. We're just 2 men looking for a camel. All right, help us out. We had a couple we want to get to. Yours, please.
You absolute muppets. Sharp knives, or knives that you want to keep sharp, do not go in the dishwasher. They get hand washed. The dishwashing cycle just eats away at them, and then you end up with a fucking blunt knife. Jesus. Were you taught nothing? Fuck South Canterbury.
Okay, what kind of dishwasher blunts a blade?
None that I've come
Doesn't it
across.
just fart water around and round at pace?
Yeah.
So water at pace blunts a knife?
No, not in my experience. The only thing that blunts a knife is hitting solid like steel or bones.
So do you think what they're talking about there is potentially if you chuck a sharp knife in amongst the other utensils,
yes,
and they're banging against each other?
Definitely.
Okay.
A guy came into Hauraki one day and he was a knife sharpener. I don't know. I can't remember why he was there.
On the knife blacks. Was he?
Was he? He might have been a knife black.
They're the boners. They're New Zealand boning champions.
And he was saying because I actually asked him if he could sharpen my knives for me because he had a whetstone with him. Yeah. Anyway, he said, well, I can, but the thing is you're just going to put them back in the drawer with all your other knives and then they're going to end up dull. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So I don't put my knives in my sharp knives with my other knives, but I do put them in the dishwasher. I got to be honest, they're fine. They're fine. They're still sharp as fuck.
Yeah.
You can shave your arm with them. So yeah, I think they're fine. But I knew that would piss a lot of people off to hear that I just tossed them in the dishwasher there. They're fine. One more caller. Yours, please.
If there's one thing I know how to do, it's be a petty little bitch. Okay. So here's how you get back the Big Show for your headphone theft. You get some black grease, a really little bit on your finger, and just rub it around the ear cups. So then when they put it on their ears, then you're left with a big black fucking ring on the side of their head. And getting grease off yourself, especially on your face, it's not an easy job. They're going to be looking like pillocks all day. Anyway, fuck South Canterbury.
Brilliant. And the thing I love so much about that is we put it on our own headphones so that whoever it is that's stealing it, it's the perfect crime because only the person who steals them will be impacted.
Yeah, it's a fairly nuclear option though, isn't it? Because that's the headphones done.
That's our own headphones done, yeah. Well, no, we've got the decoy set. We've got the decoy set.
Yeah, okay.
Put them in there. Yeah, I love it. It's the old school binoculars, coal around the binoculars trick. I think we'll have to do it. The problem is, what's going to happen is a guest will come into the Hauraki Breakfast Show and will be collateral damage. We're going to have to apologise to the UN for...
Oh, yeah, because they'll then put them on and they'll be in the car wash as well.
Yeah.
It'll be someone famous on the car wash. Yeah.
Someone that's just launched a book, they come through. Like the other day, if Neil Wagner had to come through and we bloody ambushed him.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden he's got to go into the hits. He's got to go to Coast. Got to go on Breakfast TV.
Covered in grease.
I'm willing to take the risk. If I find these headphones gone one more time, I'm willing to take the risk. All right, that'll do us for a Monday edition of the Agenda Podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. And we'll be back again tomorrow for a Tuesday episode of the Agenda Podcast.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda Podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.